Suppose you run a cupcake shop. You want to be able to produce custom orders and you want them fast. Here's your team. You've got someone to put on frosting, someone to add the sprinkles, someone to add a selection of fruit, and quality control and packaging. Let's put our team to work. A customer asks for 12 cupcakes with sprinkles and a cherry on the top. Let's see how they do it. We start with the frosting. We're going to put frosting on 12 cupcakes, and once we've finished all 12, we're going to move those cupcakes to the next person in line. This means our batch size is 12. While the frosting is being applied, the rest of the team is, well, they're doing nothing. We could have them doing other things, of course, sweeping the floor, answering the phone, maybe working on another order. But for this customer's order, all they can do is wait. We also have the problem that if the rest of the team is working on something else, and this order becomes ready for them, there might be a delay as they finish whatever they're doing and come back to this order. The idea of doing work in batches is of course not limited to cupcakes. We could, for example, have a 4-person team where the first person is doing requirements for some new product development, the second person is doing design, third person implementing, and the fourth person testing the resulting product. In addition, we wouldn't necessarily need to be thinking about 4 individuals doing work together. We could have 4 teams doing work and handing the work off from one team to the next, and batch size would have the same meaning in that case as well. And our team has now finished about half the work. We've applied the frosting, we've applied the sprinkles, and now it's time to apply the fruit. Our customer had a choice of cherries or strawberries. In this case, they chose cherry, so that's what we're using. This is also the last step in the process where we might make a mistake, so it's important to get it right. It's been about 2 minutes and 10 seconds since the start of the order, and we are now ready for quality control. Each cupcake is checked to make sure it satisfies the customer's order, and then it's placed in the pan that we'll use for final delivery. It might be tempting to skip this step if all we were interested in was speed, but we also care about the quality of the product, and so we're going to do an inspection. And our order is just about done. It took about 3 minutes to complete the order. Let's try that again, but this time let's make a change in our process. We're changing our batch size from 12 to 1. And things go faster. In fact, our first cupcake is going to reach quality control in 12 seconds versus the 2 minutes and 10 seconds the first time around. Our new system isn't perfect. There are cupcakes with frosting that are being produced faster than the rest of the team can complete them, but less work is waiting. Notice we haven't made any other changes in the process. We haven't provided any new tools. We haven't provided any training for our team. None of the usual things that are associated with making a process go faster. In fact, that can be an advantage of using small batch size as a process improvement. If you can break the work down into small pieces, that's really all you have to do. There's no other change required. At this point, the frosting's been applied to all the cupcakes. If we were using our 12 cupcake batch, we'd just be applying the sprinkles, but now we're just about done. And our cupcakes are complete. 12 cupcakes, just like the first time, but much faster. How much faster? To complete 12 cupcakes using our big batch approach took 2 minutes and 53 seconds. When we used the small batch approach, it took 1 minute 25, about half the time. There can be other advantages to using small batches. For example, let's look at rework. What if the team accidentally used strawberries instead of cherries for this order? We wouldn't find out about it until over 2 minutes into the process, and we'd have to redo all 12 cupcakes. With a batch size of 1, though, we find out 12 seconds into the process. In addition, we don't have to rework as many cupcakes. We may also see savings in the infrastructure needed for our process. For example, with our 12 cupcake batch, we needed a pan to move the work from station to station. But when we reduce our batch size, we can move the cupcakes easier, and so we can get rid of the pan. Doing work in small batches can deliver value to our customers faster, with less rework and lower infrastructure costs. So if it's so obviously a better way to work, why wouldn't everyone do it this way? One problem may be high transaction costs. These are the costs associated with moving work from one station to the next. For example, what if we move our fruit station away from the rest of the team? In this case, using a single cupcake batch might not be the best idea. We have to find a batch size that balances our transaction costs with our holding costs, the cost of not moving the work from one station to the next. And one of the problems with this is that sometimes our transaction costs are very obvious, but our holding costs aren't. To see this in action, let's look at our two processes again. Remember that our big batch process took almost 3 minutes and our small batch process took about 1.5 minutes. But if we look at the times for each individual worker, from the time they touched the first cupcake until the time they finished the last cupcake, you get a different set of numbers. And if you didn't know the total time through the system, or you were incentivized to only consider the individual times, then you'd probably pick the big batch process, even though the small batch process provides value to your customer more quickly. To learn more, read The Principles of Product Development Flow by Don Reinertsen. Thanks for watching.